What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's Latoria Q, and I'm back with another video. Thank you again for checking out my channel. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and all them buttons, especially that notification bell, so that you can get an update for my next video. So, y'all, it is such a beautiful day. I think I'm using YouTube as a journal at this particular point, just because. You know, sorry, my eye, but, you know, I'm using YouTube as a journal at this particular point because I'm on a journey. It's bigger than a weight loss journey. It's bigger than being a mom journey. It's bigger than, you know, that, because it's a self-discovery type channel. And I'm really just focusing on self-care and well-being, and I think that's, you know, the most important for anybody, your well-being and your mental health, and not only your mental health but your spiritual health. Spiritual health is your real wealth. I know people always say, you know, health is wealth, but we're gonna be real specific. Your spiritual health is your real wealth, because that's how you gain your stability, and that's how you gain your foundation in this world, your spiritual health. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic of what is your legacy, and what do you think your legacy is. And I want you to drop down in the comments below what you believe your legacy is, or how do you form your legacy. And so it's going to be two parts to this video while I'm driving to the gym. Yes, I am driving to the gym. So first of all, my legacy is not for me. I'm gonna tell you what it's not. Legacy for me is not my house and my car. It's not just the financial aspects or the financial blessings that I can leave my child and my grandchildren and all that. My legacy is certainly to my child, but even those that I impact. The legacy is that you got to know yourself, and, you know, your spiritual being. You're in a spiritual being always, and you're just physically manifested right now in this body. And so to really heal is the legacy that I want to leave. You can heal your generations. You can heal your personal self. You can heal your community. You can heal all those things around you. And for me, healing is important, because my healing then releases my ancestors. And that's the most important thing right now, especially in this climate and condition that we're in. We have so many fear-mongering things that are existing at this point. You know, you got diseases, you have wars, you have, you know, chaos in family, you have so many things going on in this planet. And we all have come here for a reason. We all have come here to basically release ourselves from the chains that were either placed on us or that we have selected for ourselves. And, you know, the chains are what are also a legacy, if that's what you allow it to be. And so I wanted to make a video today about legacy, because it's so important that you remember why you're here. It's so important you remember why you wanted to come into this plane, and you wanted to see yourself for who you really are. You know, you wanted to be able to look in the mirror. You wanted to be able to look into the figurative mirror as well, just to say, this is who I am, and this is what I identify myself as. And in doing so, releasing yourself from traumas. And I'm always going to focus on releasing myself from trauma, whether that had been generational curses of, you know, something as simple as being a smoker or a drinker, or releasing myself from gluttony and obesity, releasing myself from sexual, what's the word? Because it's not necessarily misconduct, but you know, sexual, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sure somebody's already thought about it, but like just sexual trauma, sexual urges that are extreme. You know, I want to be in a position where, you know, when those who I'm in real contact with see me, they see that not only have I changed from last year, the year before, last 5 years, 10 years, whatever, but they also see that, I have something to bless myself and them with, and that is with the power of transformation. And so your legacy is definitely important. Your legacy is your purpose. Your legacy is your overarching objective. And so it's like, what is your legacy? What are you here to do? What are you here to make an impact on? And my legacy, again, is always going to be back down to my spiritual vessel being released from any chains and being able to free my child. I didn't realize how much work I had to do on me until I had a kid. I didn't realize how much work I had to do until I started working with kids in general. I didn't realize how much work I had to do until I started certain relationships, my patience, or how I talked to people, or how I carried myself, or what I wanted for me. And so your legacy is a part of your why. You got to identify it. Once you identify it, you have to make a pact for it. Like, I'm not letting go. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to change what my direction and my focus is. Matter of fact, I'm going to get more on course with my trajectory so that I can hit my target. Somebody's rooting for you. And more than anybody who visibly sees you, it's your ancestors. And I'm so grateful. That's just what it comes down to. I know if it seems like I'm rambling, but I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for my ancestors, that they have guided me to this point. I'm grateful for the Most High, because that is the overall source of it all. So I'm just grateful for my right state of mind. And that's a part of your legacy too, passing on not only knowledge, but the ability to seek knowledge. Unfortunately, there are so many children and grown-ups that just have no one guiding them. They have no one that they can trust to make sure that they're getting the right information. And it's just so sad. But regardless of all that, in time, everybody finds their way, prayerfully. Everybody finds their way, but it's like, don't get distracted in the midst of finding your way. Don't give up on who you are in the middle of finding your way. And I made it to the gym, y'all. And today I'm just going to do some cardio. I've been going to Planet Fitness and doing a 30-minute room, and it's cool and all. But I'm just doing cardio today. But anyway, it's certainly about what is your legacy. So to get more specific about my legacy that I hope to journey through is just to realize that all my dreams, all my goals, all my ambitions and things like that, they're such the secondary. I know that sounds crazy, because that's, when we are getting self-help in books and through coaches and mentors and things like that, we're always like, okay, what is your goal? My goal is to be a business owner. My goal is to make a certain amount of money every month. My goal is to have kids, or my goal is to be married, or my goal is this. And it's like, those are secondary goals to the real deal that you're wanting to get to. And so in truth, my legacy is, on my dying day, I want to be able to say that I came, I saw, and I lived. And I want to be able to do that in peace, and do that with justice and truth and knowledge and wisdom and purpose. I want to be able to do that in the full abundance of my spiritual vessel. I don't want to slack on me. And I encourage anybody today who is feeling like you're depressed, where you're just sad, or you feel lost, or you feel like you're just not making it. I want to say that your legacy is greater than your depression. Your legacy is greater than what really keeps you down. And you got to take a moment to assess, why are you in your past. You got to take a moment to even look at your anxieties, what you're starving for in your future. And you got to take the energy of that and really assess what is the undertone, or what is the real message in there. So often we get depressed about our past because we can't change it. We get depressed about our past because it's something that's already happened. It's something that replays. It's something that, keeps giving us a reoccurring theme. And it's real. And depression being the unseen little demon, or the unseen little guy on your shoulder that's always reminding you of what you are, what you were. And it's possible to come out of depression. I say that as a survivor of depression. I say that as a survivor of someone who has, obviously gone through some things. And even though it didn't change, I can't go back and change it. I can't go back and remove that particular detail. But I can say that I'm using it for my blessing. I'm using it for my triumph, and I'm using it for my legacy. I didn't realize how many issues in my lineage we had in regards to loss of children, you know, um, sexual trauma. I didn't realize that until I started talking about it. And I didn't realize how much it affected so much until I started talking about it. And so it's like you gotta learn to talk to your Hulk. And your depression can be your Hulk. Your obsessions can be your Hulk. Your desires can be your Hulk. It can be what turns you from, cool, calm, and collected to overwhelmed, stressed out, and on 1,000. And you are able to speak to your Hulk. And sometimes it's the quiet, still voice that is required to get to that extreme. I used to work at a call center, and I used to get people on the phone, and they were real irate. They was talking crazy, right? And I just get to talking real quiet, and then they be like, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry about that." And they be, "I can't hear you. Speak up." And it was when I started to get quieter, they got quieter. And so that's kind of how it is too with depression and anxiety and those things that are keeping you real flamed up. It's like you got to get quiet. You can't keep adding the fuel to it. You got to get real quiet. You got to get real solemn. You have to get real still. And in those times, that's when your most quietest self, your highest self speaks to you. And it should remind you of why you're here. It should remind you you're important. It should remind you how special and how much of you are. Meaning no one else can be you. No one else can see the way you see. No one else can articulate or speak on things the way you can. No one will be able to, duplicate you. Yeah, they might be able to imitate you, but imitations always are noticeable. They always got their flaw that sets them apart. Be like, that shit ain't right. Nobody can be you. And so it's like, step out of your comfort zone. Remember why you're here. Make sure you leave an impact on yourself and your lineage and your life, because you have a legacy. You have a legacy. And my legacy for me is it's so hard to put into words sometimes, but it's not about anybody else. It's really about me. But I make my legacy for me about others. And not everybody's going to say I'm the nicest. Not everybody's going to say I'm the most peachy keen. But those who are really involved, or those who I really contact, will always say, one, I'm consistent, but two, that I always try to leave a message of, you're going to get out of this. You're going to be stronger. You're going to be better. You're going to be wiser. You're going to be strengthened. You will be empowered. You will be everything that you're called to be, because that's what it is. No one else is going to be able to do it. You know, they used to say in church, like, you got to stay ready. You don't get ready in season. You stay ready and out of season, so that when your season comes, you're ready to walk into it. And that's what this is about. Your legacy is you getting prepared in your off season, so that when your lights come on, it's go. It's more than go time. That means you are in your element. You are in your bag. You are in everything that you've called to be, because you've been getting ready. Everything's tried you. Everything has put you on spot. Everything has tried to blow up you. You blow up your spot for real. It's like everything that could have hit me, hit me. Everything that could have hit me, hit me. And that's the truth. Everything that I used to say, I don't say it anymore. I used to say many years ago. Probably I haven't said it in probably 5 years, and I'm okay with not saying it, but I'm gonna say it today. I used to say, I'm a woman who has gone through everything. I went through child death. I went through divorce. I went through poverty. I went through depression, anxiety. I went through just battles. I've gone through accidents, car accidents. I've gone through life-threatening relationships. I have seen things, heard things, been through things, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I'm all right too that I haven't gone through everything. I haven't gone through everything. And I can't say that I identify with everybody about everything, okay? But what I can say is you can overcome whatever it is you're going through. Whatever it is. And it may not be easy. And it's this. You're going through a test that had to be strong enough to challenge you, period. And when you're building a legacy, or when you're trying to form something, you know, every test will come your way, not to break you, but to really shore you up, but to really make sure you're solidified. And that's what it's about. You know, your spiritual vessel is being tested in this earthly realm, and it's just so that you know for everything in you how strong you really are. So when it's time for you to transcend and break through this dome, break through this egg, it's like we're in an encapsulated shell, you know? And when it's time for you to really break out, whether it's literally or figuratively, when it's time for you to break out, you know how strong you really are, and you don't have to doubt nothing about yourself. You don't have to doubt anything. And that's the power of you. That's the power of your leg. That's the power of your ancestors. That's the power of everything inside of your DNA that had to come together to form you. You're able to break through anything. You're able to overcome. You're able to see past just this basic level life. You are a legacy. You are a walking, talking, breathing legacy. And don't you ever forget it. And so as I'm journaling today, I'm really reminding myself I'm so much better and bigger than I could even imagine. I'm so much more powerful than I gave myself credit for. I am so much more deserving than even I could have even blessed myself with. And it's just because, you know, I have got caught up in experiences that challenged me. It made me question everything about myself, only to prove to me that I am an achiever. I am more than an overcomer. I'm an achiever. I am in my prime. I am an asset. And I'm God's chosen child. Period. You got to be able to speak to yourself. Speak over yourself. Speak over everything that you got going on. Speak over your purpose. Speak over your destiny. Speak over everything, your children, your house, your home. Speak over all your blessings and even your curses. Speak over that stuff. Because if you let it take you over, if you let it become a tsunami in your life, everything's going to get wiped out. All because you didn't believe enough in yourself. You didn't believe enough that you were able to get higher. Don't let things become a tsunami in your life. You can get higher. You can get to higher ground. Yeah. So I guess I'm talking to myself, but I'm also talking to others. If you needed that today, I pray it blesses your spirit. But at the end of the day, it's all about, why are you here? Why did you come? What are you doing? And what are you doing with it? What are you doing? What are you saying to yourself? What are you doing with this? What are you doing with this life? What are you doing with it? So be blessed, y'all. This is a video I'm posting today. Whether it is a great video or not, I don't know. But I just pray that anybody who's hearing this, I pray your day be blessed. I pray that your spirit be strengthened. And I pray, I pray you feel all the love that you have for yourself. And if you're needing love for yourself, I love you. I love you. Be encouraged. Bye, babies.